I'm here today with a highlighting and contouring routine video. It has been a really long time since I have filmed a highlighting and contouring video. I actually had a friend of mine and she's like, I was trying to figure out how to highlight and contour and I looked up your video and it was really old. Can you do an updated one? And I was like, you're right, I have not done one in a really long time. Highlighting and contouring is something that seems kind of intimidating or difficult, but honestly it's really easy, and once you kind of figure out where to place the color, it's just so easy and it really does transform your face. For years, I mean, I didn't even start contouring my nose until like 4 months ago. I don't know what I was thinking. My nose has always been like the one thing that I've disliked on my face. I feel like it's big, I feel like it's uneven, and once I started contouring my nose, I was like, yeah, I actually don't mind my nose when it's contoured. So today I'm going to show you some new things I've been doing with creams and powders to really accentuate and then like chisel out my cheekbones, make my nose look slimmer. I did pick up one of these little tricks from watching Kim Kardashian, and I can tell you it really has made a difference in how the products kind of blend together. So if you are new, welcome to my channel. My name is Cassie. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy my channel and decide to stay a while by hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up before you leave, as well as the little notification bell. That way you're notified of any new videos that come out. So today we're highlighting and contouring with creams and powders. Literally almost every single product is a drugstore product. There's like 2 that maybe aren't, but everything else is mainly drugstore, and I do give you alternatives on most products for a drugstore version if you do not want to spend the money on a high-end version. So yeah, if you want to see how I did this highlighting and contouring, then just stay tuned. So the first thing you're going to want is a contour stick or some sort of contouring cream. You could use liquid. I just find that the stick form is a lot easier. You can use a stick foundation. They have a ton at the drugstore. Smashbox also makes these little contour sticks, and I know Colourpop used to make these. I think they may have discontinued them, but hopefully they'll come out with them again now that I see that they're doing concealers and powders and all of that. But I'm going to use the Colourpop one only because the color works best for me right now, and it's in the shade Easy Peasy. But again, you can use a stick foundation. You can use these contour sticks. MAC makes some contour sticks. More and more brands are coming out with some sort of dark shade contour cream stick. So Anastasia also has one that's really good. So this one's an Easy Peasy. I think the similar one would be the Anastasia one. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to push all this hair back. And I like to start right along the hairline. And you know, you can do dots, you could do squiggles, you can really do little marks. You just want to get it kind of around the hairline. If you have a smaller forehead, you can probably skip this step. If you have a larger forehead, you'll want to contour it down a little bit more if you're wanting the appearance of a smaller forehead. And then for the cheekbones, you can either feel where your cheekbones are, or you can do the fishy face. However works best for you to find your cheekbones. Or you can kind of go from the top of your ear down. So what I do is I kind of go a little bit heavy right there, and then I will do a line in like that. And I don't take it in too far because we're going to blend it, and if you bring it in too far, it's going to start making your face kind of sunken in, and we don't want to do that. So kind of go around here and then bring that line in. And then for my nose, what I like to do is I kind of start right here on my nose, and I go right along where it starts to dip down. Now I feel I have kind of a large nose, so I like to make it look slimmer. So I don't go like on top of the bridge of my nose, I just go right to the side, and then I bring it down on the sides here because I feel like the tip of my nose is kind of big. And then on this side, which I've mentioned before in videos, it has like a dip, which is really weird, and like an extra hump. So when I get there, I'll show you what I do. So for this one, because there's a dip, I want to skip that because I don't want to make the dip go in even more. And I will just kind of go right here on the outer part. A little bit heavier because I want this part to be appear a bit smaller. So obviously when you contour, you're bringing things to look smaller or to create a shadow so it looks more defined, and then when you highlight things, you're bringing those to the surface. So we're wanting this to look smaller, so we're shading it in more. We're wanting the nose to appear slimmer and more straight, so that's why we're doing the bridge of, or the sides of the bridge of the nose. And because I have that like a dip in there, I don't want to accentuate that, so I'm going to skip that and not make it look more sunken in. Same if you have a bump on your nose. If you don't want the bump to look bigger, when you go to highlight your nose, you're going to skip that spot. That way you're not making it appear to come forward more. So just a little tip there. And then you can do along your jawline if you want. I don't tend to do this very often, but we'll do it for this video. And then you can also do along your lips if you want them to look poutier. So I'll usually go kind of right under here. And then for highlight, I have not done my concealer yet, but I'm going to blend this out. And the thing that I've learned from watching Kim Kardashian do it is she uses the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. There is one by NYX and e.l.f. It's a luminous one. You can use really any setting spray or skin mist that you want, and it really does help blend it out so nicely. And so that's kind of what I have changed up, because sometimes I feel like sticks or cream products can be difficult to blend at times, and sometimes it like disturbs your foundation. But I found when you set your brush with a little bit of setting spray, it really does help make it blend so much easier. Now for the contour, I'm going to start, I'm gonna get a little bit more on here. And I only do like one spritz at a time because you don't want your brush to be soaking wet. So I'll start back here and then I'll start bringing it forward. That way the bulk of the product is back here and whatever's left you're just kind of bringing forward. And then I will feather up because you don't want to drag the contour down, otherwise it's going to start looking funny. And you don't want to bring it in too close to your mouth. The Morphe G37 brush, I actually really like it for this. For the nose, I use the same brush just to get the end. And then for the rest of my nose, I like to use this little Sigma brush. This is a Precision Round P82 brush. I've had this forever. Just do one little spritz. And I just start taking this along my nose, and I will kind of drag it up to right here. There you go. And then again, I want to skip that little hump, or the little dip, I guess, and go around. And then I always like to take my beauty blender and just finish patting that out. I'm really loving the Infallible Pro Glow, but you can use any concealer that you want. This is in the shade 01 Ivory. I feel like these run really dark because I have a bit of a tan, and I feel like it works whether I'm tan or when I'm light. I'm gonna take it on just the tip because we want this to kind of curve up. I have a little bit of a hump on the top of my nose, so I'm gonna skip that. And I'm going to just do a little mark right here, a little bit on the top of my lip, and a little bit on my chin. This one is from Flower Beauty. It's really inexpensive and I am obsessed with it. I think I like it better than my beauty blender, which is saying a lot. And I like it better than my Real Techniques complexion sponge. And I like to make sure I get right in this inner corner because I tend to get a little bit dark there, so I really want to brighten that up. So anything that you want to bring forward, you're going to highlight with a lighter shade. So under your eyes, on your nose, on your cupid's bow, on your chin, on your forehead, you're going to want to just do the center of your face so it makes those features stand out a little bit more. All right, now for setting, I like to set my under eyes, and the powder that I usually use, or that I've been using, is this Makeup Forever press powder. It's fantastic, and you can use your damp beauty blender, you can use a brush. Since this is what's sitting in front of me, I'll just use this. And I always make sure that I pat under my eyes before I powder. That way you can get any excess product kind of blended in, and you're not setting creased concealer. So I always just double pat, make sure that it's all smoothed out, and then I go in with my powder. And a lot of people will bake their under eyes. I personally don't like doing that. I feel like it's too heavy and I feel like it makes my under eyes really crepey looking and dry. And so that's definitely not a look I'm going for. I don't know how people can bake and not have that happen because we all have like those little fine lines under there. But I just like to do a light setting of powder. I don't put anything too heavy and I don't really let it sit under there. I'll just use this since it's sitting right here, and I'll do my center of my nose. I like to kind of matte down the center of my face because that's where I tend to get the most oily, especially when it's really, really hot. I just really want to lock everything in. Plus, if you have more of a glowy or dewy foundation that has a little bit of a stick to it, if you go in with powder products over it, like a bronzer or a blush, I find that sometimes it can get patchy because the powder is sticking to the foundation and it's not gliding as nicely as it would if you had set it. So we're going to kind of set everything so I'm kind of matte. We still have like a really light natural contour to the areas that we did the cream. If you wanted it to be more intense, you definitely could use a darker shade and go a little bit heavier, but I wanted to kind of keep it light and show you how you can build up. The bronzer I'm going to use is this Butter Bronzer. It's just the regular one, it's not the light one. This one smells amazing. MAC brush. The number is rubbed off, but I'll try to remember to link it down below. But it's just kind of like a domed flat top brush. And so I'm going to start at the back and slowly bring it forward. So the bulk of the product again is back here at the hairline, and then you're bringing it forward. And I find if you hold towards the back of the brush, you're going to have less pressure and a lighter hand, whereas if you hold here, you're going in pretty heavy. If you hold back here, it's a lighter, wispier motion. So you can see here, it's a lighter touch to the skin and it's more wispy, where if I'm holding it like this, I'm like really getting in there. So try to hold it more towards the back. You still have good control, but you're doing a lighter hand. Along the top here, kind of all in the same place that we did our cream contour. You're just going to go at the hairline. I'm wanting my forehead to be small, a little bit smaller. So I'm going to go along the sides here. I'm going to go along the top. And then again, if you're wanting to contour underneath your chin, you can do that. I'm just going to take a loose translucent powder. This one is from RCMA, or you could use like the powder we were using before. But this one, I feel like when it's loose, you can cake a little bit more up. And you're going to go under your contour and you just do like a little line like that. Just a little swipe, and that's going to really clean that up. So let's go in with our nose. I like to use the Ita brush for that. That's the NARS brush. You actually could use, actually you can't use this one. This one's a sponge. But some of these Physician Formula like blushes and bronzers and stuff come with a brush similar to this. This one just happens to oddly be a sponge, which is weird. You can use that and that would be perfect too if you don't want to spend the money. I just take the brush and I just lie it like right on the side of my nose and I drag it down. Make sure you tap off the excess product, especially when you're doing your nose. That way it doesn't go in too heavy. So with this side, because I have kind of that little indent, I like to concentrate on this little hump here and then go right along the side. And to blend it out, I just take another MAC brush. No, this one's a Sigma. MAC also makes one. This one's a little bit more of a tulip shape. And I just blend along the side. Again, I'm holding towards the back of the brush so you have lighter, wispier motions. And I'm blending it down. So I'm not blending up. I'm either blending it back and forth or I'm blending it down. So it creates like a shadow down my nose. So now my nose automatically looks way slimmer and it looks like I had a little bit of a nose job, and I didn't. And then you can use that same brush and just kind of blend this away. This Makeup Geek blush in Cherish, which I think I've already finished one of these because it's one of my favorite colors. And this is a Japanese brush. And so there's a few different ways you can apply blush. Sometimes I like to apply it at the back of my cheeks and feather it forward for more of like a contoured effect. If you're doing a like darker, kind of more neutrally blush, you can also go the apples of your cheeks. So I'm gonna start it, not right here, kind of back a little bit. Like if I'm looking at my face and starting it kind of where the colored part of my eye starts, and then I'm blending it back. All right, and then we like to make sure that everything looks nice and blended. You can take your face powder or just a fluffy brush, and I really like to blend everything on my cheeks. I have kind of bigger cheeks, I feel. I got a lot of like real estate here, so I feel like it's easy to kind of get out of hand with your bronzer and your blush and your highlight. So to just kind of blend it and make it look nice, I like to take a face powder and really just kind of blend it all so it looks really nice and seamless. This Laura Geller little highlighter here, and I really like this little brush. It's a Morphe, it's from like their Copper collection or something. Bought it a while ago, and I really love that. For your highlight, you're gonna wanna stay on top of your cheekbones up here. If you have a lot of pore or texture issues kind of in this area, you're gonna wanna kind of keep the highlighter more back this way, because if you start to bring it in too far, it's gonna look a little weird, but it's also going to accentuate all of these pores. So you wanna kind of keep it up in like a C shape right here. If you have a lot of texture right here, sometimes I get like little bumps there. It's going to accentuate that. The shimmerier and more metallic highlighters you use will accentuate that. So if you have a lot of texture there, you could just kind of go right along here instead of kind of doing the C shape with it. This is the Laura Geller Peach Glow. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I like this one because it's a really beautiful highlight, but it's not like overly shimmery and metallic. You can also take it on the tip of your nose if you're wanting to make that kind of pop up a little bit, which I like doing. You can put it on the top of your Cupid's bow. That's just going to make your lip appear to lift up a little bit. So we contoured the bottom to make the bottom lip look poutier, and we highlight the upper lip to make it look lifted. So that is how I've been doing my highlighting and contouring routine lately. I feel like it really does hold up through the hot weather, through a long day. Just doing the cream and then setting it with a powder really kind of locks it in. You can also then go in and set your face with a setting spray just to give it like an extra little like safeguard. But I feel like this really helps it last all day. It looks nice. I hope this was helpful. I hadn't done a highlighting contouring routine in so long. It's been a long time since my last video went up. So I hope you enjoyed. If you're new, please make sure you hit that subscribe button before you leave and give this video a big thumbs up. And I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.